Hello everyone and welcome back to Star Wars The Force Unleashed on Steam. I am one Welsh sheep yet again, and this is it, ladies and gentlemen. We are infiltrating the Death Egg. Death Egg? Death Star. Jesus Christ. A few seconds in and I already made a Sonic reference. Great. But yeah, now that we are inside this Death Star, we have, well, it's the final mission, so we're now on the final stretch here. And to start things off, we're inside these tubes, these laser tubes here. If you get touched by the Death Star laser, well, needless to say, it's instant death. These lasers will kill you a lot. So what I recommend is actually go into each of these alcoves. Every time you hear in the background the announcer guy saying, "Everybody clear the deck," because the laser will be about to fire. Now, as time goes on, this mission is going to get harder and harder, and we're going to start having enemies within these tunnels that we need to deal with, and even timing puzzles that I'll explain how to go about them when we get the chance. So the guy just said, commence firing. That's basically when you need to hide. Now, whenever you hide in each of these tunnels, there's nothing much you can really do. Like, it gets better though, this mission does, when the enemies start popping out, because you can start holding your enemies up to the laser, which will cause the enemy to disintegrate. It makes me all tingly inside. What can I say? But for the final mission, it's not exactly the highest note this game could go out on, because as much as I don't mind this mission, it can go on for pretty long. It's a pretty lengthy one, and it's kind of boring. Well, actually, all the missions in this game are lengthy, so I'll just say this mission can be boring, because it's not much I can really say about it. You got a lot of waiting around to do. Now, this mission, if you didn't have to wait around so much, would probably be a lot better, but I digress. Anyway, this is the best thing you can possibly do, so he's about to have a shocking reward for fighting me. Get it? Because he's a shock guy. He has electrocute barriers. What am I doing? There's nothing in here. Past me, go. Leave here past me. There's nothing in this. There we go. So yeah, there's not really much you can do with when the laser's firing. You also have these turrets that pop up from time to time. Just electrocute them and they'll go down. The turrets will also sort of defend themselves when they are too close to them, which can be a really big nuisance, you know, because, well, you're gonna get pelted by tiny little pellets every now and then. Those pellets, well, they don't do much damage, it's just more annoying to deal with. But yeah, there's not much to say. This mission is really pretty bare bones. I love doing that. I love it when I get killed with a laser. I don't know why. I'm not evil, I swear. Well, actually, now I shouldn't be evil, because we're actually a Jedi now. We're officially classed as a Jedi for some reason. Although my big question is, well, I know the reason why no one ever mentions Starkiller, but Starkiller is such a big thing involving the Rebel Alliance, but yet he's never mentioned in any of the movies. I know why, because this game obviously came after the movies, but it's quite interesting. Although now this game is no longer canon. It used to be canon until Disney took over, because all the extended universe stuff, like all the games, all the books and stuff of Star Wars, Disney decided to make them non-canon, make them not a part of the official Star Wars timeline, which they actually used to be. Which I don't know how I feel about that, because I know there's a lot, and I mean a lot of extended universe stuff that's a lot of you know, it could quite easily get contradicted by J.J. Abrams, because he may not know the entire lore fully as it was written or anything. So I know it could cause some like plot holes and stuff, but I don't know. I think getting rid of the entire timeline is a bit of a loophole, you know, because there's loads of things about the extended universe of Star Wars that I really love. Like, for example, there's what's his name? Kyle Katarn in all the Star Wars games, who, I kid you not, he is Chuck Norris. He is the Star Wars equivalent of Chuck Norris, you know? I wanted to see him in a film, actually. I'm kind of surprised they never did, because he's such a big thing in the games. Like, a really big thing. I'm going to be tackling a couple of Star Wars games on this channel eventually, and one of them, well, a lot of those games will star Kyle Katarn, so that'll be quite an interesting time. Although at least the Empire decided to finally put non-glass windows that don't shatter easily inside the space station. It's quite ironic that this place has the most, like, the windows in this place are a lot more secure than windows in a normal ship, yet this place is not even built. It's quite interesting. Will you leave me alone, you bloody... Oh, my health drain killed the turret. Okay. No, it works for me. But this very first sequence, like I said, very boring. It's not much to talk about. You're just running down a hallway, avoiding a laser. Ooh, riveting! And the second part of the stage is practically the same old stuff. It's exactly the same as the first part, but the difference is the second half of the stage is where things sort of pick up, because we have timing puzzles that we also need to do as well as dodging the gigantic super screw you laser that's shooting down the hallway, you know, so there's that, I suppose. But yeah, I used to find this mission when I first played the game, like, impossible, but coming back to the game again, and I found this mission quite easy. I was surprised. It was nowhere near as difficult as I initially remember it being. It's strange. Yeah, I don't know. Although, I don't know if that's a glitch with the lights going on there, because when the laser shoots off, I think all the lights flicker in, like, in the Death Star, at least most of the lights do. But that one looked really weird with the way that, like, it was like spazzing out. It looked like my graphics card was freaking out for a minute. Which it should. My graphics card is more than powerful enough to handle this game, because the graphics card I have is a GTX 680, which isn't the newest card out there, but it's good, you know. I can still play Far Cry 4 at the highest graphics I can, you know. But I digress. I'm talking computer jargon, and there probably is a bunch of people watching my channel who don't know about computers. And if they do, well, cool. It's always wise to know a bunch of computers. Because I'm not one of those people that... I know there's loads of people out there that are really insane with, like, PC Master Race, nah, your console peasants suck. And then there's other people who like, this console's better than that console. I don't see the point of being like that. I don't see the point in the console wars, so anything. Pick a console. Do you like it? Good. Don't bitch to other people because they like a different console, you know. I have all three current gen systems, and I have the PC, and I basically tend to use my PC for exclusives because the games run better, and the consoles I have for the exclusives, you know. Did I say PC for the exclusives that run better? PC for the multi-party games that run better, you know, the games on every system. But, yeah, I never understood the hate for other systems. Like, even back in the day when the Mega Drive and the Super Nintendo were a thing, I was a Sega fanboy. When the Dreamcast was coming out, I was hyped for that shit, yo. But the problem with that is the Dreamcast came out. I never bitched about the Nintendo 64. I played the Nintendo 64. I loved the Nintendo 64. I still got my Nintendo 64 now. I've never been one to really stick to a side, you know.
Amplification chamber. There should be a pair of spinning conductors that intensify the beam as it passes through the area. This station's laser. It's more powerful than anything the Empire's ever built before.
Okay, that might be a bit of an exaggeration there, Eclipse. I just realized her name's Eclipse. Ah, space pun! But anyway, what you're going to want to do by here is wait for the laser to fire. When the laser fires, you'll see these discs snap into one set place. Like so. Now when these what you basically need to do, if you notice, the panels will open up when these discs go into the set place. So what you need to do is grab the discs with your force powers and smooth all three of them so they lock into place. When they lock into place, a platform will spread out. You'll be able to jump straight across this pit, and you'll be able to progress on. There's two of these laser thingies to deal with, and trust me, believe it or not, when you get past this section, the mission does become a lot more interesting. It becomes a lot more fun. But see these goons by here? Don't fight them. For the love of God, just leave them alone. It's the wise thing to do. But as I was saying, console wars. I've never... Oh god, I'm getting really close. I've never been one to really be fussed about the console wars, you know? It's... Like, the Wii U is currently my favourite of the current gen systems. Like, there's nothing on the PS4 or Xbox One yet that makes me go, oh my god, this is the best system ever. But the Wii U has quite a few games now. And that's why I get confused when I see people who are saying the Wii U has no games. The Wii U has plenty of games. They're not all third-party games, they're all exclusives. But they have games, you know? And the games are good. They're really good. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, that was actually one of my first LPs on this channel, and I loved that game through and through. It's one of the best platformers I've ever played. And I hate the Donkey Kong Country games. Well, I don't hate them. I just don't think they're as good as everyone else thinks. I'm not a big fan of them. But I'm being an idiot. No, I'm going too slow. I would have been safe then if that panel didn't kill me. But yeah, that's what happens if you get hit by a laser, instant death. But fortunately, through the power of editing magic, I managed to get back just fine. So yeah, I'm not gonna die and make you watch all of that again. What do you think I am? Dark Side Phil?
Juno, where am I?
Some sort of convergence array. According to my schematics, there are 7 others just like it spread around the station's dish. The firing tube you were in is just one of 64, all being directed into a single massive beam. I can't even imagine what the Empire will do with this sort of power. You must find a way onto that central platform. The Emperor's observation dome is just beyond it. The schematics show a series of graviton beams in that chamber. Can you find a way to activate them?
Yes, I can. Just jump right down and you see a giant plug. But first things first, we need to deal with 2 AT walkers, 2 chicken walkers. Oh, that joys. No, I said a minute ago, well, who am I, Darkside Phil, but I actually can't really say anything about him because I actually haven't watched his videos. I don't know, they don't appeal to me, because from what I hear, he doesn't edit out any mistakes, and the simplest puzzles get him stuck, and it really... I don't like it when people don't edit out mistakes. I mean, I don't mind it if they keep a mistake or 2 in, but if they keep it into an obnoxious level, it really bugs me in LPs, you know? Just cut things out if you get stuck, please, for the love of God. It can be funny if you mess up, but it's not if you mess up too much. That's why I never saw the appeal of LPs of ultra hard games like Kaizo Mario, because most of the LPs are basically people raging and screaming at the game, and I just don't find that entertaining. I don't know. Maybe I'm alone in that, because I know they're quite popular channels when people mess up all the time and they're awful, but no, it just annoys me more than anything. Like from what I've heard of Game Grumps, one thing that's put me off Game Grumps a while back was their Sonic 06 LP, because it's 100 parts long. Even with a 10-minute time limit, it shouldn't take someone 100 parts to play Sonic 06. It's not that bad a game unless they went through every side mission, and even then, that'll probably be 70 parts at the maximum, you know? Again, I didn't watch that LP either, so I can't comment on how good the LP was. I'm just going off what I know from what people told me, so I could be talking on my ass with this, and if I am, I do apologize. Although I have heard Game Grumps do good videos, so I should check them out at some point, but when I get the time. I don't really watch YouTube LPs so much recently because I've always got other things going on that I want to do, like these videos myself. I do these videos, like I spend most of my day doing videos like this, see. But anyway, we're on the final stretch of the stage. Now that we, basically when we push the plug in, the gravity things opened up, allowing us to basically float on up. And when the gravity things floated us up, we have access now to fight another Shadow Guard. Yay, I guess. And this time, Shadow Guard has got a posse with him. He's got a crew. He's got a group of baddies that want to take us down. So what I recommend is focusing on the Shadow Guard, because the other enemies aren't the strongest. They aren't the sharpest tools in the shed, despite the fact they're using laser blasts. And right now you're going to actually see me start using my throws a lot more, because One thing I've noticed in my playthrough is I really don't use throws nearly as often as I should. Because, well, I say I'm using throws more, I used it once. Because I should use throws. They are really useful abilities when you get close to enemies and they're blocking, you know, it's very useful. Actually, that's probably how I'm meant to hurt and kill most of the bosses, because they block all my attacks and I can never get through to the bosses, but I digress. Anyway, there's another Shadow Guard down for the count, and we're actually heading on to the final sequence, which is actually a series of bosses. That's right, they kind of chucked the last 3 bosses of this game are thrown onto us at once. You know, we got one boss coming up in a second, then we got a slight break where we can just sort of choose, and then we got another boss. And when I say you can choose, I'll explain that when we get to it, because it's it's one of the things that promotes replay value with this game, because there's actually 2 endings to this game, folks. There's a good ending and an evil ending. How do you get them? Well, it's more of a matter of choose which boss to fight first. That's it. I'll explain it soon. But now that we we can actually get to the boss right now. But first things first, I'm going to want to do a quick teleportation, because I'm going to jump up here, because at the very top here is the very last holocron of the game, which gives us a brand new lightsaber. This lightsaber I will be using later on, just to show it off a bit, but I won't use it for the boss fights. There it is right there. This is such a finicky and difficult jump to make, because what you need to do is, on the left hand side there's a little hanger, like it looks like a hanger, I don't know why I'm calling it a hanger, but there's a little platform, as you see right below. It's just a giant metal thing. You need to do a dash jump and land on it, and it's so easy to overshoot or undershoot it. But the reward for jumping up here is the black lightsaber crystal, and you might wonder, how the hell does black light work? Because black is the absence of light, so how does a lightsaber that's black work? I have no idea, but it looks cool. I just don't bother worrying about the physics of it, because look at this, this shit's off the hook, yo. But yeah, I will not be using this for the final boss. The final boss, I'm going to be sticking to the old traditional methods of the blue lightsaber to take care of, because that's what the storyline has in the cutscenes, and I can't have inconsistent cutscenes, you know? But I digress. Basically what you want to do by here is simply grab onto the thingy and pull it all the way around. This will open up the doorway, allowing you to move on. Oh, but yeah, here we are, folks. The beginning of the end. It's been a bit of a death-defying, you know, I can't even make my pun.
Juno, I'm close. You can sense Vader nearby.
You are all traitors to the Empire. You will be interrogated, tortured. You will give me the names of your friends and allies. And then you will die.
Our deaths will only rally others.
Your very public and painful executions will serve as an example to the rest of the galaxy.
There may be a rebellion yet.
Lord Vader, deal with the boy.
Trained you well, but you still have much to learn.
You have nothing left to teach me.
Oh, I got goosebumps! So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. When we return next time, we'll take care of the Imperial pain in my ass, Darth Vader himself, as we tackle the final part. Thanks for watching, people. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, and I'll catch you all then. Bye!